Hi, in this video we're going to talk about the requirements for the German universities, and I'm going to give you some solid points on which you can orient yourself, and then pretty much with the help of this video alone you would be able to decide if a German taught master's program is a better choice for you or an English taught one, and what are the requirements that you have to fulfill in order to get it in either of these programs. So one point to remember in the starting is that in general public universities have a stricter criteria than the private universities. In private universities sometimes you can even get a pre-admission confirmation just within 3 hours. So like that's how insane it is, and this is the reason I'm going to rather discuss the public universities requirements and not the private ones, because if you are fulfilling the public university requirements, private ones like you're going to fulfill anyway, so like there's not so much struggle there. And then the third important point is no matter what your profile is, you always have a chance in getting admitted in a German public university. And the major reason is that most of the Germans do not do their masters, because just after the bachelor's they have very good job opportunities in Germany, and this is the reason you have like a lot of free spaces, and it just sometimes is a matter of luck, sometimes it is a matter of how soon you apply, or all of the other different factors of the documents which come into account and then dictate if you're getting an admission or you're not getting an admission. And all of that we're going to discuss here. So let's start with the requirements of the English taught master's program. So for that you need IELTS at 6.5 at least, and I'm saying at least because some universities also can take you up with 5 IELTS or something, and some universities are there which even take you with 7 or 7.5, but 6.5 is the basic standard. Most of the universities are going to take you in an English taught master's program with IELTS 6.5 or even a medium of instruction certificate. So like that you have to check. The acceptance of IELTS is of course way more in the universities than your medium of instruction certificates, because many universities here also, like, you know, that sometimes the documents and stuff can be like easily made in like other countries, so that's why they're a bit skeptical there. But if you have IELTS with 6.5, you should be good for most of the German universities, and from most I mean like 95% of them. And the next requirement is GRE. Important point to remember is that GRE is just something that some universities ask for, and those universities are maybe like, you know, 10 or 20%. Like most of them still do not ask for any kind of GRE, but if you want to apply to these premier institutes like TU Munich, RWTH, KIT or some other universities, then you need the GRE score or sometimes even the GATE score for the Indian students. So this is something you can just find directly on the university's website, not a lot of hassle, but something that you should still remember, because let's say you want to, you know, study into UM all of your time, but afterwards when the application portal opens, applications start, you realize that you had to give a GRE and now you don't have the GRE score, and then you cannot study in the university. So this is why I say start as early as possible. Even if you're starting like at least 1 or 2 years before your end of the bachelor's, or you know, like whenever you want to go to Germany, it's not a bad thing at all. Like the sooner you start, the more prepared you are, and this is something that you should always remember. And even more so for Germany, because most of the things here take time. Like even if you're like applying for an internship, applying for a job, trying to find a place in the universities to study in, even there all of those things are going to take time. So the sooner you start, the more prepared you are, the better your chances are going to be to get in a very good German university. Then the next requirement is German proficiency. So most of the German universities for English taught master's program do not ask for any kind of German proficiency. Now some universities, for example even the University of Applied Sciences FH Aachen, they have put a requirement of B1 level German, because they want you to be more integrated into the German job market too. Like once you're done with everything, they really want you to actually, you know, utilize whatever you have studied in the industry, and if you don't have good German proficiency, you just miss out on a lot of opportunities. So I actually like that universities are putting these kind of German proficiency filters, so that they only get the more serious applicants, and the students who are just like using Germany as an alternative for US are not getting accepted because they never invested time in learning German. So I think think this is a good step, and I think more universities are going to go towards that direction because it just helps them really filter out the students who are like just purely interested for Germany and not for any other country. But again, most of the German universities at this time do not ask for any kind of German proficiency. The some who do are just for A2 or B1 level, not more than that. Regarding the score in bachelor's for English taught masters program, you should at least have 60%. So 60% is the bare minimum where you have any kind of, you know, realistic chances of kind of getting acceptance even in a lesser known German public university, because of course there's a difference. Like if the German university is in a smaller town or a city, lesser people apply there because there are lesser opportunities, there are lesser companies, lesser collaboration with the industry. So even in those kind of universities, if you have 60%, you have chances of admission. And if your documents are on point and if you like just took care of all of the other things during the application process, you definitely have really good chances. So 60% is the absolute minimum that I would say like you should have that. The better score you have in your bachelor's, the better it is. The same does not hold true for IELTS, because IELTS they take as a boolean, so like either a 0 or a 1. Do you fulfill the requirement of at least 6.5 IELTS? Yes, then we take you in. If no, then we cannot take you or like consider you for the application process. Now let's go towards the German taught masters program, and this is rather the more interesting part because many people have different kind of, you know, ideas about German taught masters program. And I'm just going to like kind of lay them down for you, because most of the people think that, hey, it's a German taught masters program, maybe it's going to be very tough or something. First of all, no matter what kind of masters you come for, you are going to face difficulties, and I'm like telling you already in advance. Sometimes students take it nicely and still are able to finish their masters in 2 years. Some students take longer, sometimes like up to 4 years. So it really depends on how prepared you are. And all of what I'm trying to do from YouTube is kind of preparing you that when your life starts in Germany, you're just better equipped of handling like different kind of scenarios. So for the German taught masters program, the requirements are: first, you don't need any IELTS. That means no IELTS, no medium of instruction certificate, absolutely nothing. 0. Then next, you also do not need any kind of GRE for most of the German taught masters program. Then third, the German proficiency that you need is going to be at least at the level of C1 or C2. If you're showing the German proficiency with the help of the TELC exams, then the TELC C1 Hochschule is something that you should be writing. If you're writing test stuff, then you need 4 points in every single module. And if you're just using the Goethe Institutes like certificates to kind of prove your proficiency, then you need a C2 Goethe certificate exam. But the thing that lesser students know is that you can also apply to German universities with just B2 level of German proficiency, but till the time of enrollment you need C1 or C2 certificate to show so that you can enroll in the university. These two are totally different things and something that you should always remember. Another super interesting thing is that German taught masters program do not have any kind of limitation on what kind of bachelor score you have. So even if you have like 50% or something, you're totally fine. You can come study in a German taught masters program. And this is because most of the German students, they do not go for masters after their bachelor's. For them, the idea of like not earning for 2 years and then maybe even if they do their masters and just like get a raise of 300 or 400 euros, like for them it's like kind of worthless. And that's why most of the students don't do their masters. They just do their bachelor's, start working, get a higher pay according to their seniority, and this is how things work, which pretty much frees the space in German universities for masters programs. So this is an absolutely like positive point here. If you are trying to, you know, establish yourself or establish your skills in a new country like Germany, then masters is a great way to start. And if you're coming for a German taught program, you're not only showing everybody that you have really good German proficiency, but also that you're able to study your masters, which is a complicated degree in a completely different language, which is again something that everybody is going to appreciate you for. Now the students who say like, hey, you need so much money to like study in German universities, sometimes you need, you know, more money to study bachelor's in Indian universities than you need for the entire masters. So in masters, you just have to show your blocked account. Most of the universities are anyways tuition fee free. So like they don't charge any tuition fee whatsoever compared to US, where the tuition fee alone could go from 30,000 US dollars up to 60,000 US dollars. The other cost of living, I would say, are 853 euros per month or 10,236 euros in a year, which kind of equates to 8 lakh rupees in a year. So like for your entire degrees, you're just spending 16 lakh rupees in total. So there's no like extra tuition fee or whatsoever. Of course, the same is not true if you're going to a German private universities. They're also going to charge you like crazy. Like I've seen degrees where they are charging you at least, 20,000 euros, which is insane. Like, this again puts you in the same kind of place like in US. And my argument for you to study in Germany is that when the German public universities, and many of them are just offering the courses for free, and you still get very good quality education which is reputed everywhere, why are you not choosing that over, like, just going into absolute student debts and then afterwards start earning money, pay off the loan maybe in 5 or 10 years, and then afterwards, like, have the real net profit of whatever skills you have. So like I said, if you want to apply for private German universities, well, you don't need my course at all. You can just, apply to those private universities and you will get an admission anyways. It is not difficult at all. But if you want to study in a German public university and want to make sure that you have the best chances possible of studying in a really good German university, which is also public, that means like no tuition fee, then you should definitely check out my course. It is called the Complete Course for Studying in Germany. And because like this is the Black Friday week, I have a link in the description with 50 euro discount. I generally don't give discounts because I really believe that my course is really worth the price, because you don't waste time in kind of figuring out like what kind of information you need, where you are getting the information from, because on internet everybody tries to be a guru, and even though they have spent very less time with the students and in this kind of university education field, but still they will just write anything and everywhere, and then you just get very confused. For me the story is different. I have been in this space, like education is pretty much my passion, and this is the reason why I was very closely like working with this. And in the last 2 years I've already helped over 100 students to come and get an admission in a German public university, which is kind of insane when you think about it, because it's just me and I'm trying to optimize everything and taking care of their questions through live sessions. So live session is another important part of the course, which happens every 2 weeks. So the next live session, which will be happening now, will be on 1st December at 6 a.m. CET or 10:30 a.m. according to the Indian Standard Time. So if you enroll in the course till Friday, you still have a lot of time to like go through the content and then prepare your questions, and then we can just take them directly in the live session, which takes place in a group of 10 to 15 students depending on how many questions students have. And we also have the live sessions rather open-ended, so as long as there are valid questions coming in, we do not have any kind of like end limit that the live session is just going to be 1 hour or something. These live sessions happen in the Facebook group of the enrolled students, and all of the enrolled students have lifetime access to the course. That means even if you enroll now, you can use the course after 1 year or 2 years whenever you try to come to Germany or whenever you plan to come for Germany. Another important thing, because we're talking about the course and I know it is a bigger investment, so for the students who would like to pay in installments, like you also have the option of paying in 3-month payment plan or 6-month payment plan, so whatever fits your current situation better. And the last important point, the coupon code which is in the description is only going to be for the next 10 students. So whatever the 10 students are who are going to be enrolling in the course, well, the coupon code is still going to be activated, so don't worry about it. So I hope to see you in the course and help you start your process with the help of the video lesson and the other text content provided in the course and the live sessions which we will be taking very soon. The first starting with 1st December 2019 at 10:30 Indian Standard Time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.